Alrighty. So, as I said, I had to take two because the wife calls, and when the wife calls, you better pick up. Because if you don't, you got some problems. Well, I try to pick up as often as I can. I try not to have that radiation thing on me all day. Any two-way communication, kids. Any two-way communication is constantly emitting radiation, a basketball size around the device. Even this iPad, but I have the signals off, the wireless and the G3 off. So right now, it is not communicating at all. So just keep that in mind, especially when you're young. The blood-brain barrier is not actually fully formed in your brain, and whenever that radiation that happens to be very close to the radiation signal, the frequency of your brain, it gets affected. And when it gets affected, then we start breaking down DNA. But in any case, when the wife calls, you must pick up. So, back to the interview. We had a couple of calls coming. This is the lady that got over her case of cancer using Western and Eastern methods, which she's a little bit overly skeptical, but she hasn't actually had a whole lot of time to research all this stuff. But she definitely is very knowledgeable and sounds very authentic. So you be the judge.
Where it completely separates you supposedly from everything else, where nobody can track your thing. Like if you want to do
all right, right now we went back to the whole internet starting page Google issue, and I'll rewind a little bit.
Or something like that.
Yeah, so I assume you're talking about Startpage. And by the way, George, I got an email asking if it's Startpage, and it's Start.
S-T-A-R-T.
No, I wasn't talking about that. Firefox and Internet Explorer both have a way that you can do, it's just called private browsing, where it completely separates you supposedly from everything else, where nobody can track your thing. Like if you want to do banking or something like that, it supposedly separates you from any way of being able to be tracked.
Well, the only way that I'm aware of that you can access a website without the website seeing your IP address or being able to put cookies on your browser, and remember those are the kind of the two key ways that websites track you, is if you go through a proxy. And there are lots of proxy services out there. Startpage has one too. But the proxy is this idea that when I want to log on to whatever website, let's say it's the National Institutes of Health, and I want to look up cancer, and I don't particularly want the National Institutes of Health and the federal government getting my IP address or putting a cookie on my browser for that. I don't know if they do. But if I wanted to do that, then I could access that website through a proxy. And the proxy, what the proxy would do, and Startpage does this, is they would go out to the National Institutes of Health, grab the cancer page you want to see, take it from that website, load it on their servers, and then show it to you. And then they are kind of a go-between. They're in between blocking your IP address from reaching the website or the website's cookies from reaching your browser. So yes, there are settings. And speaking of browsers, you raise an important point when you talk about Internet Explorer and Firefox and Safari and all the various browsers. There are settings in there that people need to change. The default setting is accept all the cookies and accept all the privacy invasion. But you can actually go in there and set I've got Firefox. You can set Firefox to delete all cookies every time you close it. And then when you're done, you close down Firefox, you close down your computer, and all the cookies are automatically deleted. Now, you're going to pick up more the next time you go surfing, but they're not going to be the old ones, and so they won't be able to make those connections over time. And there's other settings like that. So I would encourage people to take a close look at the privacy section of the pull-down menus on their browsers and actually change the settings and make them more to your liking, and you can do some private surfing and protect yourself better.
All right, very good. Next up, we go to Frank in Chino, California. Wildcard line. Frank, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call, sir.
You're welcome.
Ms. Catherine, I was wondering, where can you find or locate the turmeric and other herbs to help fight cancer?
What you want, there's a difference between turmeric and curcumin, and let me clarify this because Bharat Agrawal was explaining this to me too. The turmeric is the root. It's a plant. It grows in the ground, and they grind it up and they make it into curry. It's what makes curry yellow. 3% of that turmeric root is curcumin. And so you can either eat turmeric, and you can buy that at any Indian market. It's cheap. It's plentiful. It's kind of bitter, and frankly, I find it a little hard to cook with, unless I'm making curry or something with a lot of sweetness and coconut. But it's a little bit bitter. What I take personally is the curcumin, which is the extract. It's the 3% of it that's been, refined out of it, and that's what they're showing the clinical trials on, is on curcumin, and I'll spell it. It's CURCUMIN. You can find it at any health food store nowadays.
And make sure you take black pepper with it, too.
Yeah, actually, yes. The curcumin is potentiated, as they say. It's synergistic with black pepper. So sometimes you can find the supplements, and there's a lot of brands of it, and they're all great as long as they actually have curcumin, not turmeric. The turmeric's really cheap. You can just buy it. You don't even need a pill. But if you're going to buy the curcumin, make sure it really is curcumin and says, 95% curcuminoids, or however they say it. And if they combine it with black pepper, which you can buy in the pill, or you can actually do it yourself, just eat something with pepper on it, sprinkle it on a piece of toast, it actually works better. And George, you're totally on target with that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Appreciate that. Absolutely. Back to the privacy issues a little bit in the search engines and everything else. What's new in the RFID world?
RFID is scaring me as much as it scared me ever. There's a brand new report out from Accenture, which is one of these companies that makes the anti-theft devices in the doorways. And for people who don't remember what RFID is, it's radio frequency ID. It's the microchips that they want to put into products that can send signals, electronic signals, and be picked up by doorways and floors and ceilings and the like. And there's really two places this is bad. Accenture has a new report out that is showing that 50%, they claim, 50% of retail companies out there selling clothes are experimenting with or actually embedding RFID into their clothes today. So they're either doing it in the back room, they're running trials on it, or they're actively selling it to people. So that's creepy. The other side of it that is just as disturbing, if not more so, are these border crossing cards and the ID cards. Because now we've got an increasing number of people. We just fought it in New Hampshire and we won. They tried to introduce a bill here in New Hampshire that would have opened us up to the so-called enhanced driver's license that's now available in Michigan and New York and Oregon and a bunch of states, border states. And they shot it down here, but what it is they kind of sell you this bill of goods. They say, when you renew your driver's license, we will turn it into a passport card that you can use to cross over into Mexico or Canada if you pay this extra fee. What they don't tell you, unless you read the fine print, is the way it works is with an RFID tag that has an extended read range that is supposed to work as you drive up to the border. It can read you from like 50 feet away through your car windshield and identify you long before you even get to the border crossing guard. So if you've got that in your pocket, and if you're in one of those border states, first of all, get rid of it, tear it up, go to your DMV, get a regular driver's license, get rid of it, and get a normal passport. But if you walk into a Walmart store, the Walmart underwear shelf is equipped with RFID readers to read RFID tags on Walmart underwear packages.
Oh, jeez.
And as you're standing in front of the Walmart shelf cannot help but read the ID card in your wallet. Because when they created these ID cards, they did not use an encrypted, special kind of RFID. They used product RFID. They use the same kind of RFID, it's called EPC, that they're using to replace the barcode. So the readers can not only read the products, but the readers can read your driver's license if you have one of those. So I tell everybody, do not get an enhanced driver's license. Don't get one of these high-tech border crossing cards. Get a plain old regular passport booklet that opens and closes. That's the blue cover, the big ones. It does have an RFID chip in it, but it's a whole different kind of RFID with a short read range. It's encrypted, and it's not going to be beaming your identity to Walmart shelves and border crossings 50 feet away.
Okay, let's go to Alexandria, Louisiana. Cornelius' turn. Go ahead, Cornelius.
Hey, George. Hey, Catherine. God bless both of y'all. George, I want to thank you and Coast to Coast and Tommy. I know y'all been praying for my mama. She's dying of blood cancer, but because of y'all prayers and stuff, she's really, she's improving.
Good.
I just wanted to know from Catherine, is there an 800 number where you can get these mushrooms or anything? And
just go to their website. Oh, you don't have a computer, do you?
I don't have a computer.
If you go to just my website, kmashow.com, or
He doesn't have a computer.
I don't. That's what I was going to tell you. That's why I was hoping you could give us an 800 number. Maybe
well, if we get it, I'll give it to Tommy for you.
And look, there's something on privacy I wanted to ask about too.
All right, go ahead.
And I saw your video. You were with Grant Jeffrey, Shadow Government.
Yes.
Talking about RFID and stuff.
You know, I was the associate producer of that movie.
Oh.
Believe it or not, yeah, I worked with Cloud 10 Pictures, and I actually helped produce that film, Shadow Government.
Wow. And I saw you in another film, too. I got this, and I know it's because of Coast to Coast, because I didn't order this magazine or anything. It's something where they send, you know, this stuff out about different videos. It's from Hawaii. And they just tell you about different things about freedom and all like that, and different videos and books you can order. But I really did enjoy you in that. But you're a Christian, right?
I am.
Okay. What I was going to say is, I mean, honestly, we can fight against this, and I believe in fighting against it. But in the end, we're going to lose. But I mean, in a way, we're going to win, too, because God's going to win.
Well, I think we're going to win in the long run. Catherine, Tom has a text message for you over in the studio for you. So, Tom, what do you have for us?
Hey, Catherine, phone's going off the hook. John from Tulsa, Oklahoma says, lost my mom to cancer. I just don't trust chemo. How much does luck play in curing cancer?
Well, you know, there is no cure for cancer. That's the thing. Even when you've gone through chemo, radiation, the whole 9 yards, they never say you're cured. And that's the thing that everybody who's listening to me who's been through cancer treatment is nodding vigorously right now. You're always looking over your shoulder, always. Somebody once put it, they said it's like crossing the mob and getting away with it. You're always wondering, are they going to break in and break my legs and you know, toss me in the cement boots into the ocean? You know, the thing about cancer is you never really know if you're free of it. And so, you know, the prayer, and I know, George, your listeners pray, and we need to be praying for a cure for this disease because it is devastating, and the numbers are going up. We are losing mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, children. I mean, it's a scourge, and we really need to pray for a cure for cancer. So, how much of a role does luck play? You know, a big role. It really does. Now, in my case, because of the kind of cancer I had and how advanced it was, I was given horrible statistics for survival. I mean, they were really bad. If I did not do the treatment, and they know this because they've looked at, you know, tens of thousands of people, if I didn't do the treatment, my chances of survival were something like 20% in 5 years. I mean, it was horrible. And I'm looking at it.
Can't get much lower than that, can it?
It can't. I mean, that's really bad odds. With the treatment, it goes well up. I mean, you know, depending on who you ask, it goes up into, you know, 50, 70, 80, 90%, depending on who you ask. And I'm gonna think on the higher end of that, believe me. But how do you know which one you're going to be? And I know women who have done everything quote unquote right. They've exercised, they haven't drunk, they haven't smoked, they haven't done, you know, they've done everything right, and boom, it still gets them. So how much of a role does luck play? A lot. But let me also say that I'm not sure I really believe in luck per se. I absolutely do believe in the power of prayer, and I do believe that God's got His plan. And, you know, if His plan is that He takes me at some point, I just hope I have the grace to say with dignity, I got you, God, you're in charge.
Well, sounds like your faith has gotten you through a lot of things, too, Catherine. Stay with us. We're going to come back in just a moment here on Coast to Coast AM, and we shall take final phone calls. So don't touch your dial.
Never miss a detail on a show or a guest. Get the new Coast Zone newsletter. Available.
All right.